When I had my B6 LED TV set, one thing I loved about the B6 is it had outstanding black levels for a TV set. But then I noticed that it didn't have any spectacular highlights. It was so dark. Remember the ABL days where the damn thing would dim down so dark? And I think the nit level was like 300 or something crazy on the first OLEDs that came out. Well, there's more besides a picture, besides dark levels. And I noticed that it's the big buzzword of 2019. Black levels and darks and blacks, and everything has to be dark and black all the time. What about the color? What about the three-dimensionality of the TV set? The bright whites, spectacular highlights when the sun's coming through the clouds? What about just being odd about something like that? Well, long story short, when I had the B6, I went to, I believe, to the Z9D. And the first thing I was disappointed with about the Z9Ds being one of the greatest LED TVs made was it wasn't quite as black as an OLED. And of course it's not going to be because it's an LED. So, it was that epiphany type thing where you're like, well, I got a better TV as far as spectacular highlights, brights. It's brilliant, but it's not quite as dark as the the OLED. So, and it did have a slight bit of blooming. So the buzzword of 2019 is blooming, and everybody, and this hopefully it's not going to roll into 2020, but everybody's caught on that buzz phrase. And the thing of it is, it makes more. And the point I'm trying to make is that there's more of a TV to make of a TV besides just having it black and dark, and having the blackest black bars of all time. You have to have a three-dimensional image like what you're looking at right now here with the Z9F. And you have to have good color rendition. You have to have natural looking colors and non-saturated and overblown colors rather. And that was one of the downfalls I hated about the B6. So of course I graduated and got into the Z9D at that time, and then I think I went from there into some other OLEDs, A1E, C7 OLED. But for my particular liking, nothing had the more balanced picture than the Z9D. So, and this basically is for basically every TV that I've been messing around with, as of over the last couple of years. It's just LED's a better picture for me personally. I like the balanced picture of what LED has to offer. And when I say LED, I mean upper tier LEDs, guys. I mean like the top 2 or 3 LEDs out there. Some of the tops in my background would be the Z9D, of course, definitely the 940E. We're talking picture quality here. 930E, that had a little bit more blooming than most people would like in the black bars, although a fantastic TV. And then there was a mid-range TV, that was the 900E, that gave you a lot of bang for your buck. And of course, the favorite of all of them I've owned so far, LED-wise, is going to be the Z9F. And the reason is the three-dimensional image you get that's no other TV can match. As far as with the three-dimensionality of the TV, the color rendition, how it looks when it comes on the screen. It holds outstanding black levels as well. For a top-tier LED TV set. Is it OLED black? No, it's not going to be OLED black. Will you get some slight blooming? Yes, you're going to get some slight blooming when it's super dark and you're in a dark room, and you might get a tiny hinge here, a little bit there. But what TV is perfect? And the point I'm trying to make is when someone looks at a picture like this, the first thing that comes to their mind, and it's kind of sad, is because they've been brainwashed through other YouTubers, is they look for the black areas of the screen and they look to see if there's any blooming on a leaf. Like I got a comment that was funny the other day. He said at this time here and this time here, I seen some blooming in the waterfall. So I thought that was like just totally ridiculous. and how someone would, he must be actually pressing pause to see if he could finally try to find something wrong with the TV set. And it seemed like it was very deliberate, actually kind of hilarious. But that's the first thing you're looking at a scene like this, is see if you can find something in the dark area where there might be that 0.5% of a bloom. And it's just so comical, guys. So the point of the matter is, don't get hung up on the buzzword of 2019 and now 2020, most probably. I think when they make micro LED perfected, it's going to be a force to reckon with. But right now, this is where we're at as far as quality of TV sets, the upper tier TV sets. And in my opinion, if you're on the wall about getting a Z9F, you shouldn't be, because the price point that it's at right now is a phenomenal deal. Now, I do recommend the 75 or the 65, because I do know there's been a few complaints out there that the 65 doesn't have enough local dimming zones, which is I think 109 versus the 288 on the 75 inch. So, both TVs are still outstanding. They have the bright, brilliant picture. Just that you just get more local dimming zones, which makes it actually a better picture. Now, that's not always the key, because Vizio has 480 local dimming zones. And I've heard that it has a great black picture, but it looks flat as hell, in my opinion. It looks super flat. There's no three-dimensional image compared to a Sony, and the upscaling is not as good. So, there's always something wrong with these TV sets, guys. There's nothing perfect. You just got to find the perfect TV for your liking and your viewing, is the point of the story here. And once you do, then keep the doggone thing. I'm going to practice what I preach here on this one, because I can't find anything better than this TV set for my liking and my viewing. And as you can see, it's just spectacular. For what I view, for what I look at. I don't watch dark movies all day. I don't sit in the basement all day in a dark room watching TV. If you do that, and you're going to be a stickler about the blacks, then get you an OLED. But then you're going to sacrifice spectacular highlights. You're going to sacrifice a lot of brightness, which you may not like. So to each his own. Moral of the story, you guys enjoy your TVs out there. And if you're still shopping for one, you need any help, I'm here to help on any TV that you select. I've experienced with the last three, 950G, C9, the Z9F, were the last three I've actually experienced and looked at. And it's basically my experience at home, as opposed to going to the store and giving you an opinion at the store. Although I have done that, but I tell you what, take it with a grain of salt. And with that said, you guys have a good afternoon. We'll see you.